Good morning. It's Tuesday, April 7th. Here's what we're working on. The deadline looms on Donald Trump's Iran ultimatum, but there are a few signs of a breakthrough.
Hamilton Fire Department is investigating a fire at an East End home.
And rushing crushes another one.
And oof, Blue Jays stunned by the Dodgers extending their losing streak. Speaking of oof, I stepped outside this morning
Yes.
and boom, it's like pow, right in the kisser.
We knew it was coming, Brian, because you warned us. But
Yes.
I noticed it like coming up onto the Clapison Corner Hill here, that all of a sudden it was like winter in its full fury.
Yeah, it was snow squalls coming off of Lake Huron, penetrating right here into the horseshoe. Oh yeah, I hit some of those this morning coming in as well. It was like all of a sudden it's winter again because the winds are howling, the temperature is cold.
Snow.
And the snow that we have. The snow should come to an end this morning, thankfully. The little blasts that we'll get, it's not consistent snow at least, it's just snow squalls, so you get a little blast of some flurries and then they're gone. But it's going to clear later on today, so it's going to become a sunny day this afternoon. But the temperature is really going to struggle. We'll be about 3 degrees for Hamilton. That's it. I mean, yesterday at least we got to 5, but 3 degrees. Right now we're sitting at -4 with a wind chill of -12. That's how cold it is. We have winds gusting to over 60 kilometers an hour. Our camera's been dancing here this morning. So it's going to be a chilly day, but it's going to start to mild up. We'll hit 8 tomorrow, all the way to 16 by the time we get to Thursday. So this is just a little bit of a blip. We just have to get through it, that's all. So we'll talk about the forecast coming up. Quick look at traffic, 403 Waterdown Road. Yeah, there's a bit of a shake on the camera. It's fairly windy, but there's no problems right there. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. Just checking to make sure this one's there. Here's the QEW at Grays Road. Toronto-bound lanes heading away from us. Same here at the base of the Skyway. Quite a slowdown here going through 3rd line as you head from Bronte to 3rd line to 4th line. Not exactly sure what's going on. Haven't had a word of a collision or anything, but there's something going on here. I'll delve into that, and as you can see, yep, bit of a shake there with the wind that we have this morning. So we will check weather and traffic coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Thanks, Brian. U.S. President Donald Trump's deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz is drawing closer. He's reiterated his threat to bomb all of Iran's power plants and bridges by 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight if shipping movement doesn't fully resume. Simone Gavros joins us live in the studio this morning with the latest. Good morning, Simone.
Good morning, Rick. The war just continues to rage on, with at least 18 people killed in an airstrike in Iran today, well before that deadline approaches. Now, Trump has repeatedly extended this deadline before, but he says that this is the final one. He gave a briefing yesterday threatening to take out Iran in one night.
I mean, complete demolition by 12 o'clock, and it'll happen over a period of 4 hours if we wanted to. We don't want that to happen. We may even get involved with helping them rebuild their nation. And you know what? If that's the case, the last thing we want to do is start with power plants, which are among the most expensive things, and bridges.
Trump says there needs to be a deal that's acceptable to him before tonight's deadline, and part of the deal would involve free traffic of oil through the Strait of Hormuz, a strategic waterway that sees a fifth of the world's oil pass through it. Meantime, Iran has showed no signs of backing down. It rejected a 45-day ceasefire proposal, saying it wants a permanent end to the war. Its president said today that 14 million Iranians, including himself, have volunteered to sacrifice their lives in this war. Iranian officials have also urged youth to form human chains around those power plants. Now, more than 1,900 people have been killed in Iran since the war began. The Red Cross issued a statement urging for civilians and civilian objects to be spared in all military operations. It goes on to say that any miscalculation can cause irreversible consequences for generations to come. Annette, back over to you.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, the fire marshal's office has been called in to investigate a large fire in Hamilton's East End. It started late yesterday morning and ripped through a home on Parkdale Avenue North. It's between Roxborough Avenue and Dunsmuir Road. A dog died in the fire and one person was injured. Several others inside, though, got out. Witnesses heard an explosion when the fire started.
You heard the explosion?
A small explosion. Something exploded. I was passing by my car. And I stopped over there in the middle of the street, and then the police and the fire department arrived.
No damage estimate has been set in the fire, and there's no word on a possible cause.
GoFundMe pages have been set up to help businesses and tenants recover from a fire on Hamilton's Ottawa Street North. This video shows the fire on Sunday afternoon that ripped through an apartment on top of a comic book store and sushi restaurant. It caused more than $1 million in damage. The fire started at the back of the building and quickly spread to the roof. Hamilton's fire department says improperly discarded smoking materials are to blame. Tenants who lived upstairs have had a chance to return to see what they could recover.
Everything burned so fast. I barely remember coming down the stairs, but there was so much smoke, and I looked behind me and my whole living room was on fire. Like it was everything I've ever owned in my life just gone.
3 businesses impacted by the blaze have been closed indefinitely. An art gallery next door had minimal damage and is set to reopen today.
Halton police have busted a counterfeit currency ring, arresting 6 people from Toronto. The investigation started last year after film prop money was being sold on 2 Instagram accounts. More than $60,000 worth of the fake currency, including Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, and euros, were sold. Police also recovered bundles of holographic security strips.
The Artemis 2 crew is now earthbound after completing its historic lunar flyby. The mission has broken the record for the furthest distance humans have traveled from Earth and included a 40-minute communications blackout while the crew crossed behind the far side of the moon.
Houston, integrity, comm check.
Integrity, we have you loud and clear. How many?
Artemis broke the previous distance record set by Apollo 13 in 1970. The crew is set to return to Earth Friday night with a splashdown off the California coast.
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, says its agents in Canada don't carry guns. The statement comes after Toronto City Council voted to oppose any ICE presence at upcoming FIFA World Cup games in Toronto. An ICE spokesperson says personnel from its Homeland Security Investigations Branch work with Canadian partners on joint investigations that involve drugs, weapons smuggling, and human trafficking. The spokesperson says those agents do not conduct operational activities in Canada, like executing search warrants or making arrests. Well, Hamilton's Good Shepherd Center is coming off one of their busiest Easters ever. Volunteers at the Hamilton shelter prepared more than 600 takeaway turkey dinners yesterday. In the last few years, the Good Shepherd says the need for meals has doubled, and their shelters are operating at or above capacity.
We're seeing spiraling demand for some of our services, particularly around food security and emergency shelter.
I need it because the prices of food are just crazy and expensive. Everything's expensive now, so, you know, if you can get a free meal, why wouldn't you get it?
Now that the Easter holiday is over, work continues at Good Shepherd to provide food every day for clients in need. A food bank in Oakville has had to move to a bigger location to better suit a growing list of clients. Fair Share Oakville is now located on North Service Road near 8th Line in Oakville. 5 years ago, the food bank helped close to 500 families a month. Last December, that number nearly doubled, with over 900 families served in that month alone. At their previous location, there wasn't enough room for volunteers and those that they helped to feed.
You couldn't have that many people. And the same thing with students coming in to sort. We had to limit them to like 15 at a time because we just couldn't hold them. And what the worst part, of course, was that we got so big that we couldn't bring in the clients.
Fair Share Oakville is open to its clients Mondays and Thursdays. They also deliver to those who can't make it to the new warehouse. An upcoming documentary takes an up-close look at the Fort Erie man who was Canada's oldest known living person, Bert Sizzler.
He's such a kind gentleman. he can remember every little detail that you've discussed with him.
A Fort Erie man is celebrating a big birthday today. Bert at Sizzler has lived through more events than most of us have even experienced once.
That is a clip from Bird by filmmaker Abram Dawood, which includes CHCH coverage. Last year, shortly after the Second World War veteran Bert Sizzler turned 110, Dawood worked with Bird and his family to document his life on film. Bert Sizzler died last week. The documentary has been submitted to several film festivals but hasn't been released yet. Bert Sizzler's funeral will be held Thursday morning at 11 at the Benner Funeral Home in Fort Erie. His family is welcoming donations in Bert's memory to Fort Erie's Legion Branch 71. Well, a heads up, if you take the Burlington Skyway Bridge towards Niagara, all Niagara-bound QEW lanes on the bridge could be closed tonight for repairs. This is weather permitting. The full closure is expected from 10 p.m. until 6 tomorrow morning. Then from Wednesday to Friday nights, there will be lane reductions on the Niagara-bound bridge.
Blue Jays and Dodgers met for the first time since their epic 7-game World Series showdown last season, but the opener of their 3-game series at the Dome last night wasn't even close.
And rushing crushes another one. His second home run in as many at-bats, his third in the last 2 games.
Dalton Rushing hit 2 solo home runs. Shohei Ohtani, Teoscar Hernandez, and Freddie Freeman also went deep as L.A. destroyed Toronto 14-2. The Dodgers piled up 17 hits against the slumping Jays, and it got so bad for the Bluebirds that catcher Tyler Heineman came on to pitch the 9th inning and retired the side in order. Toronto's only 1-2-3 inning of the game. Jays starter Max Scherzer left after the 2nd inning with forearm tendonitis, but he is expected to make his next start. That's a positive sign because Toronto already has 4 starting pitchers on the injured list.
It was a tough night overall, I think, from the mound to the batter's box. So, again, we got to rely on kind of moving on to tomorrow and hopefully get a good start from Kev.
Kevin Gausman will start for Toronto tonight against World Series MVP Yoshi Yamamoto. The Jays have lost 5 straight games and have been outscored 30-10 during that stretch. By the way, catcher Alejandro Kirk will have surgery on his broken left thumb today and is on the 15-day injured list. Well, hopefully this will make Jays fans feel better. Tonight marks the 2nd of 12 Looney Dogs nights at the Rogers Center, but this one is special to celebrate their MLB debut on April 7, 1977 on a snow-covered field at Exhibition Stadium. The Jays are offering a one-night-only promotion for 77-cent hot dogs. The first 15,000 fans will also receive a special double-sided commemorative ticket. One side features a replica ticket from the team's inaugural game in 1977. The other side marks this year's 50th anniversary season.
That's left in the corner. Up top for Darlene. Sweeps it across. Her shot scores! Jason Zucker!
Jason Zucker scored the go-ahead goal in the 2nd period to give the Buffalo Sabres a big 4-2 win over the Lightning. Buffalo and Tampa now tied atop the Atlantic Division with 102 points, 2 ahead of idle Montreal entering the final 10 days of the season. Nikita Kucherov scored his 400th career goal and tied Connor McDavid for the NHL points lead with 126. Mark Scheifele recorded his 900th career point after picking up 3 assists in Winnipeg's 6-2 thumping of Seattle. The Jets have earned at least a point in 7 of their last 9 games and are 3 points behind the Kings for the final wildcard spot in the West. Deposits are now open for Hamilton's new American Hockey League team. The deposit for general admission seats to watch professional hockey at TD Coliseum is $100. There are also suite and premium deposit options. The yet-to-be-named hockey team will begin playing at the downtown Hamilton venue this fall. University of Michigan has won its first NCAA men's basketball title since 1989. Wolverines held off UConn 69-63 last night and won the championship despite making only 2 of their 15 three-point attempts in the game. The Huskies were looking to win their 3rd title in 4 years. A blockbuster trade in the WNBA. The Chicago Sky have traded 2-time All-Star Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dream for first-round draft picks in 2027 and 2028. The 23-year-old Reese is the league's back-to-back rebounding queen and also led the Sky in scoring and assists last season.
switching everything.
Here we go. Coming up on 6:15 on this Tuesday morning, 7th of April. It is a chilly start to our morning here. We'll talk about that in a sec. First of all, it's traffic. We'll just give you a quick run through of some cameras. 403 and Waterdown Road is doing fine, so nothing to see there. Into St. Catharines, QEW Martindale, nothing there. Graves Road, Stony Creek still looks good. We'll flip ahead to Fairview all the way through. That was just there. Here's a look at Cooksville Creek. I'm doing this quickly because they tend to disappear. So. All right, let's get to our temperature that we have at the moment. It is a cold start to this Tuesday morning. Our temperature right now is -4. Now there is some good news in here. The good news is that the winds are not as strong as they were last hour. We had winds to 61 kilometers an hour last hour. This hour it's 27 to 45 from the west-northwest, and that is a cold wind, and that's a wind coming off of Lake Huron. So we are getting some blowing snow around right now. So we'll get that flurry activity for this morning, and then we're going to see the skies clear for later on today. But oh, don't look for mild temperatures. 3 degrees, that's it for the day today with that northwest wind 30 to 50. So here's a look at the squalls coming off of Lake Huron and Georgian Bay as well. And you can see that's the area of blue. The dark blue is the real heavy snow squall activity, and they're penetrating right into the horseshoe here. So what we have is a low pressure system, and then the high to the west giving us that northwesterly flow. But as that high comes to the east, a more southerly flow, and you're going to notice the milder temperatures later in the week. But we're not going to get there today. Today, look at these temperatures, anywhere from 2 to 3. And that's about it. So a little flurry activity this morning, and then the skies will clear later on today. It'll be a nice, bright, sunny afternoon. Clear skies tonight and cold once again. -6, wind chills around -11 to -12, so it's going to be cold again. But tomorrow we'll have a nice, bright, sunny day, and the temperatures will climb nicely. 8 to 10 to 11 in some areas, but 8 to 7 for Hamilton into Halton, Peel, into Toronto. But yeah, a lovely sunny day for tomorrow. So out the door on the 7th morning of April, now it's blowing snow at the moment, and it is quite windy, and the temperature right now is -4. Long range coming up. Annette, right?
Thanks, Brian. Coming up after the break, the Samsung Messages app will soon be no more. We'll tell you when it's going and why after the break. Checking the markets this morning, the Canadian dollar is down a couple of basis points to 71.85 cents U.S. Gold is up $24 an ounce. Oil is up 99 cents U.S. a barrel to more than $113. Midday European trading, London, Frankfurt, and Paris are all up this hour.
So a mixed day for Asian markets, though, with Tokyo and Shanghai up just slightly, triple-digit losses on the Hang Seng. The North American markets all up at yesterday's close, with the TSX posting a 73-point gain.
Samsung is doing away with its homegrown text message app, Samsung Messages. The company is advising users to update to Google Messages. If you have a fairly new Samsung phone, it probably came with Google Messages set as its default texting app. Owners of older phones are more likely to still be using Samsung Messages. The company is discontinuing it in July.
An American billionaire wants to buy the world's biggest music company, Universal Music Group. Bill Ackman's hedge fund, Pershing Square, has made a $64 billion U.S. offer for Universal. It is home to artists including Taylor Swift, Drake, Billie Eilish, and Elton John. Ackman says that while Universal Music Group has done, quote, an excellent job nurturing and continuing to build a world-class artist roster, its share price does not reflect that. He says his offer could fix that. Universal has yet to respond.
The head of Air India has announced his resignation. CEO Kimball Wilson was bought in to turn around the airline in 2022. Air India has been dealing with persistent financial losses and regulatory scrutiny following a crash last year that killed 260 people. Air India has faced years of decline under government ownership. Wilson reportedly plans to stay on as CEO until a successor is found.
We are taking a break right now. Brian is going to be back with your traffic and 7-day forecast, and hopefully it means the end of winter.
624, checking traffic. Here's the 403-407 split. So you're basically just up from the Ford plant. And what we're looking at is Niagara-bound lanes heading away from us toward the split as you go around the bend toward Burnhamthorpe and then down toward Dundas Street. But basically, that's how traffic is doing this morning. There's nothing going on. Now, there's no snow flurries here, but there's a lot of snow flurries otherwise around, particularly around Hamilton at the moment. We are getting some blowing snow coming in off of Lake Huron. So let's get right to our temperatures, because that's the thing this morning is how cold it is to start our morning here. It is -4 with a wind chill of -12 at the moment. At least the winds have come down a fair bit from last hour when we had wind gusts into the 60s. Now we have wind gusts into the 40s. So -4 Hamilton, -4 Mississauga, -2 for Grimsby, -3 into Toronto. It's cold all the way around. So on this Tuesday morning, here's the look at the sun times for the day today. We gain another few minutes of daylight today, and we will see some sunshine later. So those are our sun times, our records for today. Our seasonal temperatures, 10 for a daytime high now, and 0 for an overnight low. So we're going to be well below seasonal throughout the day, and we'll get some flurry activity this morning. So for school today, fairly cloudy skies. We'll start to see a bit of sunshine, but -3 for the first bell, and then +3 for after school as those skies clear. So it's going to become a nice sunny day, but it's going to be a cool day, 3 only. -6 tonight. Wind chills, well, around -10 to -11, so another bitterly cold night, and the sky will be clear. So that bodes well for the repairs on the Burlington Skyway Bridge, because they were talking about closing the Niagara-bound lanes completely over the Skyway, if weather permitting. So the sky is going to be clear, so they should be able to do that. 8 degrees tomorrow in sun, and then the temperature goes up 16 Thursday, 10 Friday with rain. The weekend looks to be mild. At least we'll have sunshine for National Pet Day. That's your forecast. Annette, right.
Thanks, Brian. A ski hill in Alaska featured something a little different to celebrate the end of ski season.
This is their sink or swim party, and we're going to see what they mean by this. Oh, that's a swim. That's a swim. About 60 people, some dressed in very cool costumes, did their best to launch themselves across a pond, without sinking. And if they didn't, they had to swim. Participants were judged on how far across the pond they could make it, and also on their costumes. This is the 5th year for the sink or swim celebration. And this is in Anchorage.
It doesn't look like anyone is swimming. Oh, they are swimming and sinking.
That's awesome.
These outfits. Okay, let's check this one out. I have a good feeling about this one. Ooh,
no. A little shaky there.
Close, but no cigar.
It's like you need water skis.
Yes,
for that.
very
Maybe
much
that
so.
would
and a
work.
boat pulling you.
And a boat.
Wow. Stay with us. More news, weather, traffic, and hopefully some warmer temperatures as well here on Morning Live. Good morning.